Some of the most pressing issues in both public health and social justice are the worsening socioeconomic gaps and disparities between the haves and the have nots, which become more apparent with old medical issues such as chronic diseases and cancer, or new emerging diseases such as COVID and Ebola, or even biotechnological advances using algorithms. Climate change's induced health issues such as flooding is always apparent in those who are marginalized and those who are vulnerable because they often suffer the brunt of whatever the prevailing issue is, regardless of what it is. Therefore, I would say the most pressing issue involves attending to the voices not being heard and to the faces that we do not see.
There are several challenges in public health and social justice. One major challenge is the existence of health disparity among different populations, particularly marginalized communities. There are inadequate access to healthcare, socioeconomic factors, and discrimination that contribute to these disparities. Additionally, limited resources, political complexities, and conflicting interests as well could hinder efforts to implement effective public health policies and initiatives. Therefore, addressing these challenges requires a comprehensive and collaborative approach in involving multiple sectors and stakeholders to ensure the success of the interventions that are being put in place to mitigate or resolve these challenges.
To me, the challenges is that of politicking laws and culture. And by politics, I mean when issues of public health come to play, it's usually shrouded in politics. It's either a politician is trying to, gain political points by, politicizing the issues and all that. So I think politics is a major challenge. Then laws. So it's been discovered that once certain policies are not really backed by the law and are not being enforced, it's practically impossible to implement some of, the things, we think would be good for the public. So that's one of the challenges I think the public health sector is facing.
I think a big challenge when it comes to public health and social justice is the willingness to call out injustice and really the willingness to not just like look at it and name it, but figure out how to act on it and figure out how to act on it with the people that are experiencing it. And so, I think we can think about that in terms of environmental pollution. We know that's not randomly distributed. We know that that relates to issues of like environmental racism and colonialism. And so how do we address those issues? We have to start by naming them. And then I think we have to sort of be humble about the fact that if we're not directly experiencing the brunt of that inequity, we will have some form of ignorance about the issue and have some areas where our expertise is limited. And so I think forming community partnerships is a vital part of addressing public health and social justice. And it's also a challenge, right? I think our funding for research and communication and community engagement doesn't necessarily come with that by default. We don't necessarily get trained in how to build those strong relationships by default. And they take time. They take time and service and face-to-face interactions to slowly build trust. It's not something you can just come in and do. So I think a big challenge is that we are in a field where we often are striving to show results now and results like, a year ago. And how do we balance that with the need to take things slowly while also acknowledging the fact that there are pressing issues right now? So I think it's all a big challenge that we need to address if we actually want to advance public health. And advancing public health means advancing health equity.